Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. According to mood, a person, we go on from morning till night, we see our moods are changing. Each person appears before me, my mood changes. What is he? How the things are influencing me? Now I go out, I look at the river, my mood changes. I go to the garden, I look at the plants, my mood changes. It is evening, the sun is setting, my mood changes. So, everything I am associated with the world, and as the presence of the things in mind or in practically externally, when the presence changes, what is present in my mind, what is present around, that creates a particular mood. Now Sri Ramakrishna is telling, now let me tell you something that will agree with your mood. The present, he is in a trying to see divine everywhere. Ramakrishna's presence is there, and from his coming, the things are changing, and he's in a, looks like he is in a little transcendental awareness. All this he is seeing as a divine play or something like that, something eternal, unchanging. According to Vedanta, one has to know the real nature of one's own self, Atma Jnana, self-knowledge. Each must have a self-knowledge. What are you? When you are awake, you identify with the physical body. When you are asleep and dreaming, you identify with the dream body. And when you are in deep sleep, you don't know whether you exist or not. So, this mood, this identity, you are changing. Body, now, who are you in this body? Are you this body? Are you this constantly changing moods and feelings? Are you the intellect which is changing constantly? What are you really? How do you go within? Where do you go? Where do you identify after leaving all the coverings, layers that are covering your bodily existence, yourself? So that knowledge, self-knowledge. But such knowledge is impossible without renunciation of ego. Ego. Yesterday somebody was asking, is there ego because of our past karma? Or because ego is there, karma is happening? As long as karma is there, karma is associated with doership. Ego has three aspects: kartritva, bhoktritva, jnatritva. In ego, there is I do, I'm doing, I'm going, I'm coming. Action is there, kriya. Doership is there. Then I enjoy. Enjoyership is there. The karmas that we get, sukha dukkha, constantly we are getting sukha dukkha. I have to pass through this. This is enjoyership. Bhoktritva. Sometimes it experience sukha, sometimes dukkha. Pain and pleasure are being experienced by that ego. Ego has doership and enjoyership. He has to enjoy the joys and sorrows of life. He has to experience them. Knowledge, jnana, that is knowership. Kartritva, bhoktritva, jnatritva. I am the knower. I know this. And what he knows is constantly changing flux of this universe. I know him. I know her. I know that. I know this. All this transitory. The moment you sleep, none of that knowledge will be with you. And when you die, it gets erased forever. But an enlightened soul, he has the jnana of the absolute. What God is, what he is individually he is. But he doesn't have karma that gives sukha dukkha. He enjoys the bliss of God. Bhoktritva is turned to the transcendental. Kartritva is surrendered, is eliminated by taking up the instrument, being an instrument in the hand of God. He is the doer. I am not doer. He is doing in and through this body. I am going to shift it, shift the doership to God, and I am becoming an instrument in the hand, in His hand. Kartritva. Now, jnatritva is of self-knowledge. I know. In case of ordinary people of this transitory, which is not going to go to the next life also, whenever we are asleep, it's totally obliterated. When we wake up, it appears again of this knowledge. So, vasanas, tendencies, keep the ego alive through kriya, action. Ego is getting the motivation from the vasanas. Karmas give only sukha dukkha. Vasanas substantiate kartritva. Karma phala, sukha dukkha, sustains the enjoyership. Kartritva, bhoktritva, jnatritva. Kartritva is sustained by vasanas, my old tendencies I have acquired. It drives me, vasana. Karma phala is different, giving sukha and dukkha. This sustains the bhoktritva, kartritva, bhoktritva, doership, enjoyership. Doership is sustained by vasanas and other is sustained by the karma phala. And jnana is jnatritva. Jnatra is sustained by the knowledge I have. But this knowledge is not the real knowledge. It is of the passing, constantly changing world, which is there, which is not there. So the ego, this ego, if this ego with kartritva, bhoktritva, jnatritva, doership, enjoyership, and knowership, this has to be dissolved. In Advaita, to get the self-knowledge, real self, this ego which is presenting itself as the self has to be dissolved. But such knowledge is impossible without renunciation of ego. Ego is to be renounced, not the objects, but the ego. The ego is like a stick that seems to divide the water into two. A stick is placed in a bucket of water. It looks like water is split into two. That is the ego. The ego is like a stick that seems to divide the water into two. It makes you feel that you are one and I am another. When the ego disappears in samadhi, then one can know Brahman to be one's own inner consciousness. One's own inner consciousness. I am Chaitanya Swarupa. I am divine. I am not this matter body. I am spirit which is dwelling within. One must renounce the I that makes one feel I am Mahima Chakravarti. I am a learned man, and so on. How Sri Ramakrishna is directly telling that identity with the personality, identity with the bodily existence, give it up. And the moment you give it up, the self-knowledge dawns. Any hold on this world, any hold on this bodily existence, I am this body, this is mine, keeps you separate from the rest of the universe, which is you. The moment you leave this, immediately, this is also yours, that is also yours. You become one with all that exists. One must renounce that I that makes one feel I am Mahima Chakravarti, I am a learned man, and so on. But the ego of knowledge does not injure one. I am Atman, I am child of God, I am divine. This jnana doesn't harm. Ego has the kartritva, bhoktritva, jnatritva. This jnatritva will not harm. Shankaracharya retained the ego of knowledge in order to reach mankind, in order to teach mankind. I know that I know God. That it is a sattvic ego which wants to enlighten others. It is like a lamp, burning lamp, which is going to light other lamps. It is sustained through the oil. So to light other lamps. And in fact, it is, we say that Shankaracharya retained. But if you go a little deeper, you will find it is not he retained. It is Mother Nature, which wants to help all rest of the lives on the earth with enlightenment. She is making this arrangement for all other jivas. And she is instigating, she is guiding, she is driving the soul in a particular way. Now, she is keeping that ego of, I know, jnatritva. He is not keeping it out of his own capacity, or once you realize it is over, you don't have that ego to possess or hold or give to others, but the nature, Divine Mother, instigates from within. She has to take the responsibility of the whole world, all beings, and she does it. One cannot obtain the knowledge of Brahman unless one is extremely cautious about woman. Because he is a man, all others are men there. Sri Ramakrishna is taking the word woman freely. Therefore, it is very difficult for those who live in the world to get such knowledge. However clever you may be, you will stay in your body if you live in a sooty room. You are wearing white clothes and it is a sooty room from where this coal and all are sold. Just move anyway, just a touch body touches somewhere, it's already black mark is there, soot mark is there. There is lot of difference between man's nature and women's nature. Man's nature is possessiveness and strong drive of enjoyment. Women's life is a life of sacrifice. A constant awareness of sacrifice and service is always there. Man wants to possess, women want to give. Now there may be exchange of or change of the awarenesses, and there may be might be acquiring man's nature, but it is not their original nature. It is not what nature has provided and made her for. I may acquire some other nature. Now birds are there. The feeding pattern, everything changes. Their lifestyle changes immediately. The company of young woman invokes lust in the lustless man. Unless one is extremely cautious about women, the man-woman idea has to go away one day or other, because it exists only at the externalmost cover with which we are identifying the bodily existence and the mental sheath. These alone feel and identify this part with manhood and womanhood. Otherwise, the moment you transcend this, it is divine and divine alone. The gender doesn't come into the realm beyond mind, beyond just body, transcend mind, and you are neither man or woman. Even in dream, mind is there. So the manhood and womanhood, divine, is absent, but when you transcend the mental sheath, then there is no difference. It is God and God alone. So we have to somehow or the other bring that awareness of my real identity with the body. We have to go on contemplating and identifying with that reality again and again till it becomes spontaneous, and with that the realization dawns of the self, independent of body. Otherwise, we go on suppressing. But the knowledge must awaken, the knowledge must come up. The real identity with the real existence. What am I? I am the Atman. So this man has to get rid of manhood, woman has to get rid of womanhood. However clever you may be, you will stay in your body if you live in a sooty room. The company of a young woman evokes lust even in the lustless man. There is no lust in him. But for a man, woman, and for a woman, man, the young girl, when he sees, lust awakens. The identity little behind I am divine, little forward pervading the body, manhood and womanhood is there. Just a step behind. Leave the body, leave the mind, you are divine. You don't have gender, nor attraction nor repulsion. You are divine. This identity, spiritual awareness, constant spiritual awareness has to be maintained to radiate till we shift our existence to the Vijnanamaya Kosha, transcending, turning inward and traveling one by one layers and entering into the inner world. Identity with my own real self. How till we, even spiritual awakening from within, permanently dissociates you from body. Till that time, the constant unbroken awareness of divine must be there. To know the self. Oh, the spiritual awareness. The spiritual awareness suppresses or overpowers the bodily identity. And with this bodily identity still alive, has not seen the spirit, his spiritual awakening is not over. He is a ordinary human being. Still, if this awareness is spiritual awareness, then this identity, it is bodily existence, it is suppressing, overpowering and presenting its own spiritual identity. He has not realized, but still the mind and heart, when they accept together, heart must accept. Heart starts feeling, I am divine. Mind goes on searching how to identify this. It accepts, I am divine. Because logic is there, perfect logic behind. It accepts. Accepting is one thing and feeling is another. Mind and heart both accept, both feel. Then when the feeling arises of being divine, most of the thing is worked out. But it is not harmful for a householder who follows the path of knowledge to enjoy conjugal happiness with his own wife now and then. He may satisfy his sexual impulse like any other natural impulse. Yes, you may enjoy a sweetmeat once a while. To Mahima Charan laughs. It is not harmful for a householder. See, householder is permitted to all legitimate enjoyments are permitted. When he renounces, it is entirely different. It is renunciation is shifting the platform. I am leaving the platform of world. I am leaving the border of the jurisdiction of the nature and entering into divine. Renunciation is where I move from the world and with the body, but land in some other. Because of the place where I am landing, though I am body, a sannyasi was renounced, though he is body only, where he is standing is a holy place. He is standing in a platform which is of the divine. Till renunciation, he was standing on the platform of nature. He has shifted, the paradigm is shifted. The whole thing is shifted. He has not got transformed. Now, it is here, external things do not bother him, tempt him. the deep within, this doesn't belong to me, I don't need this. Because of the higher aspiration, he aspires for higher life and has renounced the lower life. His higher self is awakened, not the real self. Atma-jnana he has not got, but higher self that can keep this lower self under control, not to seek anything of this world. You are renounced. And Sri Ramakrishna used to say, whatever you spat out, you will never put in the mouth again. Even Vidyaranya, in the Jivan Mukti Viveka, he says, spitting out, we will not eat. A dog vomits and eats like that, its own vomiting, like that man doesn't. Once you spit out, don't take it back. This, that is a higher self. The renunciation is awakening and identifying with a higher self. It is not with the real self, Atma-jnana. No, he tries, but standing as a higher self in a higher place, the divine platform. The householder stands in the nature's jurisdiction and holds on to dharma to transform. Dharma, the hold on the dharma, is transforming him to realize. Both are realizations. He has shifted the platform and he is moving. He has not shifted the platform, but is holding on to dharma. Sri Ramakrishna says, holding on to dharma, you will not fall down. You are in the platform where you are permitted to move about freely in the world. Here it is restricted area. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.